Hello everyone. In this video we'll see how we can copy data using insert record set query operation. So first of all, let's try to understand the record. So we are creating a hypothetical scenario. We want to insert data into this table, discuss group table. This is a small table, that's why I've taken this one. And we'll copy the data from this item group. So what we'll copy this 3, 6, 7, 8 records into our curse group table, and that will eventually get displayed here. And we'll pick these two fields like item group and name, and that will be copied to customer group and description. Now, why we are using insert record set operation? There is a very simple answer. This is faster. How this is faster? Because you are going to prepare the data inside a query, and then you will do a single database call, and you will insert multiple records at one go. Usually, if you insert the record row by row, so at that time, every time you do a database call, so efficiently the performance get degraded. So to resolve this issue, so we'll use this insert record set. So let me create a runnable class. I will say class and create a runnable class. And so we are going to use this query operation, so I will show you. Let me add the class first, and the code is going to be very simple and straightforward. Alright, so I will start writing the code. So the first thing is that you want to copy data to your curse group table. So I will define my curse group first, and then I need to copy data from my that. One second, let me check the data source here. So I will right click here and we'll go to, it should be invent item group. Yeah, invent item group and invent group ID, invent item group. So let me say invent item group. Let me define a buffer here. So I will say invent item group. So the first thing is that I will need to create a query where I need to get this data, like the data of my this invent item group table. So I will simply create a query using this new query. Now this is simply a query, we don't have any data source or anything like that. So for that I will define my query build data source object. I will simply say my QBDS, and now inside this QBDS, from this I want to add a data source to my table, so to my query, and I could simply say here add data source. And inside my data source I need to pass the table ID. So I need to pass table ID of my invent item group, because I need to copy data from this table. This is a from table. And then I am not interested in each and every field, so for that I will use this query build this field list. So I will give a name like QBFL equals to, here I will say from my data source fields, okay, then I will specify what all field I am interested. So I am interested in QBFL dot add. Here I have this function named as add field, and then I need to pass my field ID. So I can say field num, and here I will again need to write out the field names. So I will say invent item group, and here I will say invent group item group ID. Okay, so this is my first field. I also want to copy the description as well, so that's why I will add name field as well. I will say add field. I need to pass a ID here, so I will say field num. I will say invent item group, and then I will specify this name field. Okay, now I have tell my data source that I am only interested in these two fields, that is item group ID and name. And now at the end, what now? So let me tell you something. So if you write here query dot insert record set, we need a like data source, like the target data source where we are copying data. We are copying data to cust group, so we can simply pass cust group here. Then we need to specify here a mapping as well. So query we have done, we have simply told our query that inside this query we have this table, invent item group, and these are the two fields. We are done with this, but we haven't done something on this one, like target to source map. So it simply means in your map, first of all you need to, so let me tell you, then you will able to understand what does this target to source means. So let me write here target to source map. Okay, I will start working on this map. So I am defining the naming randomly because currently we are just learning. So I will define my map. I will say map. I will say target source map TSP equals to. Now this is how I can define map. You can check out my other videos regarding the maps, how we work on maps. And here we need to specify the key and value. Okay, so in our case, key would be this string and the value would be a container. So let me write here container. So I have defined my map that this would be my key and this would be my value. And now inside my map I need to insert. So I will say tsp dot insert. Okay, and here then I need to specify the string. Okay, now if you see this target to source, so what is my target field? My target field is cust group field. Like from my table I have this field only. So I will say here field str, as I have defined this as a string. So I will say here cust group, because I want to insert data into my this cust group field. Okay, so here I am done with this. Now here if you see I have written target to source. Now I need to define the source here, but the source should be defined like container. So how you can do that? Let me tell you. So to define a container, I've also created a video for container. You can check out that. And let me first of all close this. Okay, now we'll start writing this inside our container. So this is our container. So here we'll say query build data source. We need this unique ID. Okay, and then we need to define a string of our invent item group, comma, the field name was item group ID. Okay, so that is what we need to define. So let me reiterate for you. Okay, I think there is some error. Where is the error? Okay, I need to close this here. I think this is now an extra. I will remove this. Let me try to save. Okay, here also we have an error because I've simply opened it, this one, so we'll close it later. Now as I'm dealing with two fields, so I will add my second field as well. I will say this my map, that is target to source one. Here I will use my insert function. I need to specify my field first here. So I want to insert the data into my name field of my customer group, and I want to copy the same from my this invent item group. So here also I can simply say query build data source vds dot unique id. I will use this function. Then I can simply say field str and I'm going to pass the field from my this invent item group name field. That's it, simple. And now here we are ready to insert everything. Here I need to insert my target data source, that is nothing cust group. I want to insert data into my cust group table. Then we need to specify this target to source mapping. So this is our target and this is our source. So that's why I've written here target to source map. And here let me pass the map. Our map name is TSP. So I will simply say here TSP. And then I need to pass a query, source query. We have created this query and we only inserted these two fields, item group ID and name, so the system will be able to understand. So here I can pass my query. Yeah, we are done. So let me save and we'll do build and we'll see how it works. So let me do one more thing here. I will add a statement here. We'll see if this works or not. So I will add this statement info strfmt. So I will simply say here %1. And so what I'm going to use this cust group dot row count function. We'll see if this provide results or not. And let me save this. Let's do a build. So guys, the build is completed and we get the output as 8, which simply means 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. These 8 records were updated. And now if you will see your cust group table, so you see 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. These 8 records from my this item group table is copied. So let's go to our code again. So now let's understand it one more time. So you have used this insert record set. You need to have 3 things. The first one is in which table you want to copy the data. So you want to copy data in your cust group. So simply put your table name. Then the second thing is that let's not talk about this. First of all, let's talk about this. Here you need to prepare a query where you need to add those fields that you want to copy to your target table. So I was only interested in 2 fields, that is item group ID and name. So that's why I created a query. I added the data source to my query. Then I use this query build field list. Here I specify the fields that I want to add instead of taking the complete query. And then we defined a map. You need to remember this keyword, that is target to source map. Here you need to first of all specify the map, and here we have specified the type as a string and the value would be the container. And now inside the string we simply passed our target table field string, and into our value as well we pass the same thing, but we need to pass a container. So here we have added this the unique ID function from our this query build data source. And then at the end I simply use my row count function to calculate the number of items that get updated. So thank you for watching this video. Have a great day ahead.